We are 2 weeks into the new year, and whether you're trying to keep some goal-based resolutions, search for a new job or career, or even turn that side hustle into your main hustle, we want to bring you some actionable advice. Three-time Emmy Award-winning broadcaster Anne-Marie Anderson joins us now. Anne-Marie is the author of the new book, Cultivating Audacity. Anne-Marie, we are going to discuss some new year, new you career strategies that will hopefully bring financial gains, but I want to get into your career first. I mean, over 3 decades working your way up in the broadcast landscape here on the sports side. I mean, you have to be audacious in order to pull that off.
You have to be. You have to be. I mean, audacity is about taking bold risks. And in television, as you well know, you need to be able to take some bold risks, especially if you're trying to meet your financial goals.
Absolutely. So let's get into your 3 strategies for smarter success that will ideally result in financial gains. And the first one has to do with time and money here.
Yes, and that's a big reason why I wrote Cultivating Audacity, is to help the next generation figure these things out before. It took me too long to figure it out. So that really excites me. And time and money, look, they're twins, in my opinion. And you have to know how much you have before you can distribute. You're gonna budget your time and money the same way. And then you're gonna figure out, what are you doing that you don't enjoy? How can you plan that distribution in a different way? I mean, the bottom line is, until you know what you have, you're not going to be able to assess it properly.
And so that's the time component, but you also talk about money as energy, your output. Can you explain that?
Yes, well, it used to be that, you want to be well-rounded, you want to strengthen your weaknesses. I say forget about it, banish all of that. Banish the thought of being well-rounded and play to your strengths, which means you may need to spend some money. Some of us are tight with money, some of us don't have. You may need to spend some money to outsource it to tasks that you really don't enjoy. Figure out per hour how much you're worth and how much you're spending on this, and then delegate those and go to your strength, play them. That's where the money is playing to your strength.
Finally, you talk about something called an urgency fallacy, differentiating between urgent and important tasks here. Just break down that concept.
Well, we've been sold a bill of goods that, urgent is somehow important, and it's very definitely not. But there's so much of it. All our days are urgent, Brad. And so once you look through and you're like, okay, I got to answer the email, respond to the text, whatever it is, those are really quick, okay? And they provide a sense of satisfaction. We like checking them off our list.
Yeah.
But things that are important move you closer to your values, vision, and your financial goals. Mm-hmm. And it's very easy to say, all right, once I take care of urgent, I'll get to what's important. It doesn't work that way when you're trying to do it. You have to intentionally create space for what's important, even if it's an hour a day ideally, whether it's 2 half-hour blocks, 4 15-minute blocks worked for me as I was writing the book. But figure that out, because otherwise, urgent's gonna rule everything.
We talked about the fact that you are a 3-time Emmy Award winner. You've got this illustrious career in broadcast. You're an author as well here. And we often talk about on the show the ability for someone to identify how they can create streams of income for themselves.
Yes.
How have you been able to go about that over your career, and what are the ways that people can keep this at the forefront of their thinking, not focusing on just financial gain, but also focusing on how they are protecting their energy, and also making sure that they're putting it to work in the right areas and arenas?
Yeah, well, the first thing you have to do is assess the risk, right? Because there's different periods in your life where you can take on a little bit more risk. So Audacity is about finding the risks that are worth it and avoiding the ones that are reckless. And in those, you have to assess the entirety of the picture. And then especially the younger you are, start taking more bold risks, because the failure and the fear's an invitation to grow. So failure and fear are going to lead you on the path towards your goals, financially and otherwise.
What was a failure that you turned into a growth mechanism, and something that you were able to then look back on and be able to kind of just add to your skill set as a result of failure?
Well, you'll love this. First time on television, right? I mean, I was supposed to be on like a little regional television. I ended up getting put on ESPN2 in 70 million homes. I was completely terrified that I was going to be bad, that I was going to be judged, that I was going to be exposed, embarrassed. All of that happened, and I still survived. And that's the key, is facing that fear. The second time, I mean, you know this, Brad, better than anybody. The second time was just as bad, it just wasn't the first time. And so that's what's so tough about it, is take those failures and fears, learn from them, and move forward. It's all data.
Yeah.
all data.
So many times I am happy that there's not enough server space to keep some of the old videos
Yeah.
on file.
Yeah, exactly.
And Marie, thanks so much for taking the time here.
Thanks, Brad.
Absolutely.